Masechah Shabbos Daf Kuf Lamed Zayin. The Gemara says that if you have two tinoikis to be mal, one to be mal after Shabbos and one to be mal on Shabbos, and you made a mistake and you mal the one that's supposed to have the meal on Sunday on Shabbos, it's considered a tobid var mitzvah, veloy also mitzvah, and the kuli alma yechayiv. The Shagis Aryeh says that from this Gemara you see a raya that a milah teich shmoina is not a mitzvah bechlal, and he's matmi on the shita of the shach that's mavur that a milah teich shmoina is a mitzvah's milah. So to answer this kasha, there's two mahalchim and achroinim. Reb Aaron, Mishas Reb Aaron writes that the only time you have halacha of tobid var mitzvahs potter is only when you do something that would be a mitzvah if not for the fact that you did it by avera. But something that there's no mitzvah, there's no chiyuv to do without the isser, doesn't have the halacha of tobid var mitzvah. So over here, there's no chiyuv to do milah, there's no mitzvah to do milah, although but the eved, it has a din of a mitzvah, there's no mitzvah, there's no chiyuv to do it, so milah doesn't have halacha of tobid var mitzvah. The Beis Halevi writes that it's mavur, that there's two halachas in mitzvahs milah. One is the ma'aseh chaticha, and one the fact that it's chosim bebesori bris kodesh, and he says that according to the shach, teich shmoina has a mitzvahs milah, is not that the ma'aseh milah was a mitzvah. It's the fact that he has a chsimis bris kodesh bebesori. That's the key mitzvah. But he says that's only niskayim that mitzvah on the 8th day when it's the zman milah. However, on Shabbos there's no mitzvah at all, so therefore it's not considered tobid var mitzvah. Moving further on, Tosfos it's a kasha on the Mishnah that says mal v'loy para kil loy mal. And Tosfos asks, what's the chiddush? It's mavur that sits in that choyfe roiv Torah is ma'akiv the milah. So if you don't take off the priah, it's also the roiv the Torah is not megula. To answer this kasha, there's two interesting mahalchim and achroinim. The Megini Shloimeh writes that the priah is a different or than the actual basar orla. It's an inner layer. So although it says that it sits in on ma'akiv, that's the actual orla. Mashenkin the basar or a priah, which is in the layer, you wouldn't know that it's ma'akiv. And although it's mavur that the priah is deicha Shabbos, that's part of the mitzvahs milah. But you won't know that he's an oral if he didn't take off the priah. The Yam Shel Shloimeh is medayik that there's a shin in the schois and sits in hama'akvin as a milah. He says, it's not a milah b'chlal. And he says, therefore, it's an nafkamina. If one person does the milah, another, and someone else does the priah, it's also to do like that on Shabbos. And with that is miyashiv Tosfos kasha, that ma'avulay para has a whole new level, that it's not a milah b'chlal. Moving further on, the Gemara says that the moyel makes a bracha ala milah, and the father of the son makes a bracha lehachniso bibriso shel avinu. The Mefarshim ask, it's tzarichi and gadol, why is milah different than other mitzvahs, and there's a chiyuv to make two brachas? So there's numerous pshatim in the Mefarshim that Gois Maimoni writes that over here, since the moyel is mechuyev in milah himself, and the father is mechuyev even more, he has a specific chiyuv. So therefore, there's a special bracha that the father makes lehachniso bibriso shel avinu, besides for the bracha that the moyel makes. The Bach says that it's mavur in Rosh over here in Rishonim, that the bracha lehachniso bibriso shel avinu has in it an aspect of birkas hashvach as well. The Levush writes in his brother Kveger that the bracha lehachniso bibriso shel avinu is not just going on the mitzvahs milah, it's going on all the mitzvahs that you will bring your son to the Torah and ma'asim tovim through the mitzvahs milah. In the ikar bracha of lehachniso bibriso shel avinu, Tosfos brings machlokes Rishonim if you make the bracha before the milah, after the milah. And the Rishonim ask, how can you make the bracha after the milah? The klal is kol habrachas mevorach aleim ive la'asiyasan. To answer this kasha, there's three mahalchim in the Rishonim. Tosfos says, ive la'asiyasan is only on a mitzvah that the mevorich is doing by himself. But over here, the father's making the bracha, and the moyel's doing the ma'aseh mitzvah. You don't have the klal of mevorich uival asiyosan. The Rashba says because we're scared he might not do the milah, and the meiri's mashma because it is not be a dayim, so you can't make a bracha uival asiyosan. The Rosh says no two tirutzim. One is that's a birkas shvach, not just a birkas mitzvahs, and another teretz the Rosh says if the father of the son makes a bracha right after the milah, it's considered oival asiyosan because since the moil didn't do priah yet, it's considered oival asiyosan. The Chasam Sofer asked, how can you make a bracha before priah? Priah is not nitten, avrohom avinu. How can you make lehachniso, the bibriso shel avrohom avinu before priah? So he says two terutzim. One is that's like niguv and yitilis yadayim that you can make after the bracha, but he says it's tzarachin because it's not bibriso shel avrohom avinu. Then he says that the bibriso shel avrohom avinu was an anything that will be considered later on as orla. You could say a different pshat according to Netziv that we spoke out in the Shir and Brachas Daf Yudalid. The Netziv says Yisoid Gadol that any mitzvah that doesn't have a shir, you could be moisif on the shir, and everything is included the mitzvah, like the pasuk in Kriya Shema, and you could be moisif on it. The Chazal moisif it. All of it's included in Deraisa. So the same thing over here by priah, since the Torah said the mitzvah of priah, it's included in bibriso shel avrohom avinu. On the kasha of the Rishonim, yesh lahayir, and I found the kasha in the Minchas Ariel that according to Amavur in the Beis Halevi, in the Merachos Zerua, and the Marit, that the mitzvah's milah is nimshechas. So why is it a problem of oival asiyosan? How much the still the chasimas bis kodesh bibriso, which is ikar chelik of the mitzvah's milah, it shouldn't be a problem if it's not oival asiyosan. And Minchas Ariel says the kveg is mavur that you can make a bracha ner Chanukah after you lit the ner Chanukah, and you make a bracha in the mezuzah after you put the mezuzah in your house because the mitzvah is nimshechas. And Bialacha says you can make a bracha on Ner Shabbos after you lit because the Ner Shabbos is still a dayan kayam. So the Minchas Ariel says yesh l'chalik that over here, like the Beis Halevi, it's two independent mitzvahs. One is the ma'isa milah, and one is the fact that it's a chasimas bis kodesh b'besarai. So the fact that it's nimshach, the chasimas bis kodesh b'besarai, is not shaykh to the mitzvahs milah. Another teretz you could say is that the Rishonim are asking lechatchila, all the brachas were avekashtelt before the mitzvah, even on such a mitzvah that the mitzvah is kayam, but lechatchila the ikat takana was to do it before the mitzvah.